Here we go. Episode 1 of the M1 portfolio, going from its current balance of 303,304.46. The goal is to take this account ultimately to 1 million. I will be focusing heavily on this portfolio here, the dividends portfolio, which currently has $165,528.97. I also have an IRA account, which I'm not going to be focusing too much on during the year. I do weekly deposits into this account. I will go into that in a future video, but really this is the journey of taking this overall account of just over 300,000 to a million. The goal is to do it by 2030, which is a very big, lofty goal. However, I will be using margin. That is the secret weapon right now, which I have currently just started using. I am going to just give a rough overview of that. I've currently started using just under $20,000 in margin. Super healthy margin health right now at 84%. The interest is very low, 4.15%. As you can see, the projected interest in January on that nearly $20,000 is just $68. That's because there is no principal being paid. The stocks are the collateral, those are the assets, and I'm only paying interest on the 20,000. So as the market dips, I will be buying more and more ETFs. As you can see, this account has a lot of huge anchors, SCHD, VIG, overall just over $60,000. They don't move a whole lot one way or the other, so they're pretty stable. If the market were to have a worst case scenario and collapse, that's not going to get me into a margin call because I have a good portion of the portfolio into these two stocks. SCHD pays quarterly dividends. Coke is one of the few individual stocks that I've owned for years that pays quarterly dividends. 2026, these are the two big hitters that I'm going to be putting in probably 90% of the money from margin and the weekly investments that I make. VGT, growth stock, SCHG also grows. These return anywhere from 15 to 20% a year. So by using the margin, I'm going to be keeping the difference of what could be about 10% on my margin. So if it turns into 50,000, 60,000, 70,000 every year, I'm going to be keeping that spread, and the account is continually going to accelerate and grow. Again, this is just episode 1. It's a rough overview of this portfolio. I'll try to provide weekly updates because I do have a life outside of, the normal day-to-day, but I want this to be a journey that, hey, people can see it is obtainable, how quickly you can obtain it, what are some strategies that this can be obtained, and also maybe follow along, maybe start their own journey. Maybe they're already closer to a million, maybe they're over a million. But the point is that you have to be intentional about what you're doing. You can't just walk in or trip into something. And that's what this is going to journal. It's going to journal the intention behind where this portfolio currently is, what is the goal, and then the steps by steps of how I'm going to achieve it.